the book of Nahum. And we've heard about this in our time because I think they found a copy in a cave somewhere, or they found more chapters. I'll have to look into that. This is very short. It's only 3 chapters. The book of Nahum, Nahum. Chapter 1, the burden of Nineveh. The book of the vision of Nahum, the Elkoshite. God is jealous, and the Lord revengeth. The Lord revengeth and is furious. The Lord will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserveth wrath for his enemies. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. Oh, this is good already. The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. Ooh. Wow, that's nice. The clouds are the dust of his feet. Wow. He rebuketh the sea, and maketh it dry, and drieth up all the rivers. Bashan languisheth, and Carmel, the flower of Lebanon, languisheth. The mountains quake at him, and the hills melt, and the earth is burned at his presence, yea, the world, and all that dwell therein. Who can stand before his indignation? And who can abide in the fierceness of his anger? His fury is poured out like fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him. The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knoweth them that trust in him. But with an overrunning flood he will make an utter end of the place thereof, and darkness shall pursue his enemies. What do ye imagine against the Lord? He will make an utter end. Affliction shall not rise up the second time. Remember when they used that word utter when they were talking about the outer court, but they still use this word? They were saying inner and utter, instead of inner and outer. They're using this word again. And this whole thing has to be completely blessed by the Holy Spirit, because look at all these writers. These are all different writers. They didn't probably have everything at the same time. Like some things came, they came in. They didn't all come in at the same time. These writings, and then you have it's the translators, and that's what it's just boom when I see that word utter. Whoa, the whole thing just flashes before my eyes. Okay, calm down. Okay. For while they be folden together as thorns, and while they are drunken as drunkards, they shall be devoured as stubble, fully dry. There is one come out of thee that imagineth evil against the Lord, a wicked counselor. Oh my gosh. Thus saith the Lord, though they be quiet, and likewise many, yet thus shall they be cut down, when he shall pass through. Though I have afflicted thee, I will afflict thee no more. For now I will break his yoke from off thee, and will burst thy bonds in sunder. And the Lord hath given a commandment concerning thee, that no more of thy name be sown. Out of the house of thy gods will I cut off the graven image and the molten image. So, graven image. Okay, no, it's not. I thought it was capitalized for a second. No, the image part, but it's not. It's graven image and molten image. I will make thy grave, for thou art vile. Behold upon the mountains the feet of him that bringeth good tidings, that publisheth peace. O Judah, keep thy solemn feasts, perform thy vows, for the wicked shall no more pass through thee. He is utterly cut off. Chapter 2. He that dasheth in pieces is come up before thy face. Keep the munition, watch the way, make thy loins strong, fortify thy power mightily. For the Lord hath turned away the excellency of Jacob as the excellency of Israel. For the emptiers have emptied them out and marred their vine branches. The shield of his mighty men is made red. That's Rothschild, right? That's Red Shield. That's what their name means, right? So aren't they something copying the old Bible and stuff? Wow. The nerve. The shield of his mighty men is made red. Oh. They're saying it's from the blood. But isn't that what all shields are supposed to do? In essence, is you're supposed to be killing people and getting blood all over them. So all shields should be red shields, right? What a dirty, dirty name for a family to pick and choose. That name. Isn't that vile? Oh my gosh. For a second here, I thought somebody's talking about the guys had red shields. No, they're made red by the blood of killing people. Okay. The shield of his mighty men is made red. The valiant men are in scarlet. Uh-oh. So, 2 shades of red. They're mighty men with the red shield fighting against the valiant men who have a different shade of red. That's crazy. That could be studied. I'm going to have to study that part. The chariot shall be with flaming torches in the day of his preparation, and the fir tree shall be terribly shaken. The chariot shall rage in the streets, they shall jostle one against another in the broad ways. They shall seem like torches. They shall run like the lightnings. Okay, what does that remind everybody of? Talking about Revelation. About, this is like the closest thing to cars, right? And it talks about how there's going to be all these living, I don't know the exact words, but right, it's similar to this. It's talking about the chariot shall rage in the streets. They shall jostle against one another. So what we're looking at here in California is they're just trying to control human beings, right, for slavery purposes. And so they have made it very difficult to drive. Already you have to get smogs, right? That's okay, because there's too much smog over there in LA. At least I think we're smaller, and maybe we have more sea air coming in here, but this is really dirty too. But what they're talking about is what they're trying to do here in California is take everybody's licenses and just make it, that's essentially what's going to happen. Like they try to make it like everybody has to have an electric vehicle. If you don't have one, you have to get rid of your car or something like this. Okay, sure. So this is why I take video. These things are constantly in bad positions. They are very dangerous. Like, they wind up doing things they're not supposed to. Let's just put it like that. I'm not gonna. This is like a legal thing. I don't even want to say anything else, to be honest. But can you just see this is describing that whole situation? All these cars, anybody can hack into them. Like an 8-year-old's gonna like hack into them and like throw the whole system off, and like so there will be no transportation whatsoever. It's like you can't do that, right? They're centralizing the transportation so they can just control it and shut it down, or it for it to be hacked. And every time I hear this, and we'll hear it later in Revelation, but I'm sure we will. I'm sure this is not only where um, it talks about these chariots, right? But to me, it's cars. So the cars shall rage in the streets; they shall jostle against one another. They shall seem like torches. They shall run like the lightnings. Do you see what I mean? Because all the batteries blow up and then they're all on fire like torches. Hello. Anyway, it's true. He shall recount his worthies. They shall stumble in their walk. They shall make haste to the wall thereof, and the defense shall be prepared. The gates of the river shall be opened, and the palace shall be dissolved. And Huzab, who's that? I don't think we even heard of that name. Because even though I've heard of a bunch of names, I'm kind of a name person. If I find it interesting, I have not heard of this. And this is particular Huzab. It's got 2 Z's in it. It sounds kind of Zamzumi-ish. Zamzu means the tribe of giants that buzzed. They said when they were near them, they made a sound like zzz. Something about him did that. Look at this guy's name, Huzzah. Just saying. And Huzzah shall be led away captive. Oh, it's a lady. She shall be brought up. Oh, who is she? Oh, we gotta find out. It's not, I know, I hope I'm not focusing my interest, but this is how I remember things. These kind of stories. So this is a woman. And Huzzah shall be led away captive, she shall be brought up, and her maids shall lead her as the voice of doves tabering upon their breasts. So they're going to be hitting the, what are those things called? Like they had in the 60s. Those round things with the metal on them. What are they called? I don't know, but that's what I see them doing, walking around with those tabers. What are they called? Anyway. But Nineveh is of old like a pool of water, yet they shall flee away. Stand, stand, shall they cry, but none shall look back. Take ye the spoil of silver, take the spoil of gold, for there is none end of the store and glory out of all the pleasant furniture. She is empty and void and waste, and the heart melteth, and the knees smite together, and much pain is in all loins, and the faces of them all gather blackness. Where is the dwelling of the lions, and the feeding place of the young lions? Where the lion, even the old lion, walked, and the lion's whelp, and none made them afraid? The lion did tear in pieces enough for his whelps, and strangled for his lionesses, and filled his holes with prey, and his dens with ravin. Ravine, Ravin. I don't know what that is. I have to look that up. Raven. What does that mean? Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will burn her chariots in the smoke, and the sword shall devour thy young lions, and I will cut off thy prey from the earth, and the voice of thy messengers shall no more be heard. Yeah, this sounds like, he's talking about how he's fed up before they go to Babylon. I like this. This is pretty good. It sounds like it hasn't been done yet. This verse 4 in the chapter 2 about the cars, chariots. And this last sentence kind of gives away the timeline. Behold, I'm against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will burn her chariots in the smoke, and the sword shall devour thy young lions. Talking about Judah. And I will cut off thy prey from the earth, and the voice of thy messenger shall no more be heard. That's when they cut off the prophets. So what I'm assuming so far is the timeline. This is a good book. I'm going to have to add the recent finding, right? It was like 3 years ago, right around January 6th. It was right around that time when the capital argument. So there's just one more chapter, and let's do that later.